Hey guys, so I wanted to share a spreadsheet I created to help me with Go Battle League. So the data I compiled on this spreadsheet is actually you can be found at pvppoke.com, which is an excellent resource for Go Battle League. It is pvppoke.com. Also, I'm using a type chart, which I'll screenshot above this spreadsheet, where it shows like the weaknesses and strengths of each type Pokemon. But basically, I have it divided by Great League, Ultra League, and Master League. So I have three spreadsheets. The first spreadsheet is just so I put the Pokemon. Let me zoom in on this. So I have the Pokemon that my team on the left side, and then I put basically divide by defense and attack. So on defense this is the information you can get from PvPoke when you look up the Pokemon. So this is on defense, the type of damage you'll take. For example, Ivysaur will take a fire damage, flying damage, ice damage, and psychic damage, and the amount of damage. And then it has the resistances. And then on the attack, I listed it based on fast moves, the first charge move, the second charge move. For example, so a Ivysaur's attack, quick move, fast move is Vine Whip, I believe. I don't remember, but that's gonna be super effective against water, ground, and rock. Whereas it won't be effective against fire, ice, poison, flying, and bug. And then the first charge move is poison, and it's effective against grass and fairy. And the second, and it's not effective against ground and psychic. And then its second charge move is grass, so it'll have the same. I just didn't copy it, but for this Pokemon I did. And then I just used my fill option, and then I filled in all the red, as in things that are bad, negative, and then the greens is all the positives. So like, for example, fire is going to be negative against a Ivysaur. Actually, this is Ivysaur. So, and then flying, ice, and psychic, these will hurt, so they're red. And things that won't hurt, or you'll be able to hurt, that sounds very violent, others, is green. And then once I have this information, so basically sheet 3 is your end goal. Sheet 2, and you'll take the information from this sheet. This is very helpful for you if you're not familiar with the moves, all the moves, and how they affect different Pokemon. But then again, I have it divide Great, Ultra, Master with the Pokemon on the left. And then I have switch and stay in. So for example, Ivysaur, I should switch if I face a fire or flying, because that's going to do 2 times damage, or it's basically 2 reds right here. And then, but I'll stay in for water, ground, rock, and fighting, because those are greens. And eventually you'll be able to move from sheet 1 to sheet 3 without sheet 2. And then sheet 3 is in, so I changed the teams. So at this point I was familiar enough with my formula that I didn't need to go back to sheet 1 and change or add the Pokemon that I'm now using. Sample. And then I listed all the types here. So what you need to do is list all the types, categorize all the types here, and I sorted by alphabetical order so that when I'm battling, I can quickly, let's see, I have a Skarmory in and I'm facing a dark. I can quickly go to D for dark. So then let's say a Skarmory, if I face a bug, I'm going to stay in because it's good, super effective. But if I have an Obstagoon and I'm facing a bug, I'm going to go. And then, so it's important so you can have a safe switch. So in this case, the safe is Snorlax. So if I go from Obstagoon and switch into Snorlax, and it's going to be neutral against bug. And then for this one, you can also highlight, for example, dark. These I've highlighted because I noticed that for example, dark, my Pokemon are all neutral against dark, and I want something to be either resistant or super effective against dark. So that's why I have it highlighted, because it highlights the weaknesses in my teams. And what I mean by resistant is it on the defensive side and super effective on the offensive side. I hope this helps you guys build your team. It helped for me. So like even right here, like for example, the Gyarados, I'm trying to decide if I want Crunch or if I want Outrage. So then I would, on the side, I wrote which, for example, Ghost, it's neutral right now. So if I added a Dark move to my Gyarados, it would be super effective versus neutral. But let's say, for example, an Ice Pokemon, it's neutral. I don't know what I mean by that. So I have Dark/Dragon because it wouldn't matter which one I had against an Ice Pokemon. I have 8 on the side because it takes 8 of my quick moves to charge up to a Outrage, the Dragon move. So I just put it on the side to note. But I'm going to fill out one of these charts, the end charts, for you as an example. So I was in the Ultra League, we're currently in the Ultra League, and I realized that my Dragonite and Charizard were both very weak to Electric, even though Electric is neutral for Dragonite, and Rock. Where's Rock? Rock right here. So I was facing Machamps with Rock Slide, and then Ampharos with Electric. So I decided I needed a better third Pokemon, and I spent a lot of Stardust on a Scizor already, and I was thinking of making my own Ampharos, but I spent Stardust on Scizor already, so I went with the Scizor and actually did pretty well in that. But I'm going to use the resources I talked about before to fill out this chart. First of all, I know that fire is not good. So I'm going to put go here. So this is important to note. When I say go, this means in the lead. So for example, obviously you're not going to be able to switch out all the time, and you're going to have to decide when to switch if you want to switch to maintain switch advantage, which means that you get to choose, you're in control of which Pokemon you're facing. That's what switch advantage means. So this is helpful when you're facing something in the lead. So if I have fire, I know I'm definitely going to go. That's Scissor's only weakness. So the Scissor is going to be a good safe switch because it has only one weakness. But I do know that my team will be double weak to fire. So I need to keep my Charizard, which is in my lead, alive. So let's go ahead and fill out the rest of this chart so you understand. I'm going to load PvP Poke. I'm going to click on rankings. We're in the Ultra League and we're doing the Premier Cup. So it doesn't matter just so long you find the Pokemon. And then I'm going to find my Scizor, and if you scroll, you'll see the weakness fire. And here's where I'll put the resistance. If I was filling in the first chart, here's where the numbers are, the 3900s and 625,000s, where you can put the number of resistance here. But I'm just going to fill out this because I already know my formula. So I'm put Poison Grass Steel. Is it still recording? Yes, it is. So for Poison, I'm going to put resistant, grass resistant, steel resistant, and then psychic normal ice, resistant, fairy dragon bug. So fairy resistant dragon. See, I didn't even know Scissor was resistant to all these. Okay, and now the rest, I'm going to need to figure out if they're neutral or if Scissor's moves are super effective against them. So neutral goes both ways, whether your moves are effective or not, and whether your moves do neutral damage and whether you take neutral damage from those types. So I'm going to go to my type chart I mentioned. Okay, so here, so we're gonna look for dark. So dark, you're gonna be neutral. Actually, so Scizor, my Scizor has a steel move, and so its quick move is steel, and its quick bug, I have a bug move and a dark move. So against dark, it's actually can be super effective. So I'm gonna put neutral slash super effective. So, and then let's see, we're down to electric. So for electric, let's see, it's gonna be neutral because only ground beats electric. Nothing else beats electric. So you're gonna be neutral to electric. Fighting. So fighting steel, you're gonna be weak resistant. I mean, not your fighting. I meant your steel moves are not gonna do anything to fighting because fighting is gonna actually beat it. So it'll be but your bug moves isn't going to do anything, and your dark moves are not going to do anything. So I'm going to say neutral overall. So that one was an interesting one, but it doesn't matter because your Venusaur and Charizard will be resistant to fighting. Then flying. This is complicated because Scizor has 3 moves, but Steel would beat. Steel is neutral. Your bug is going to be neutral to flying, and then your dark is going to be neutral. So let's go, we're going to put neutral, but you don't encounter too many flyings in Ultra League except for that pesky Empoleon and its flying move. But let's go with Ghost. So Ghost, actually Steel neutral to Ghost, but your bug is neutral to Ghost, but your dark is going to be super effective against Ghost. I'm going to say neutral slash super effective. Ground. See, Steel does nothing. Neutral to ground, because ground is what Steel hurts the most. Dark and then bug. So we're going to put neutral again, but you're fine with the Charizard and Venusaur. And then rock. Your Steel is going to do super effective against rock. Your bug's going to do neutral, and your dark's going to do neutral. So I'm going to do super effective. And I'm not going to do a slash because that's just the quick move. I guess I could. Super effective slash neutral. And then water. Steel neutral, bug neutral, and dark neutral. So we're going to put neutral here. And then I'm going to highlight, filling green, all the good ones, all the super effectives and resistance. And now that I can see that, so I can compare it with the Dragonite that I was trying to replace, and I can see that for dark matchups, Scizor's much better. For dragon matchups, Scizor's better. For fairy matchups, Scizor's better. Let's see. For electric, it's neutral. It's neutral, the same. Let's see. For fighting, it's neutral. It's worse, but you're okay because you have 2 other Pokemon that are resistant to fighting. For fire, we already talked about. You're going to lose there, but you have to make sure you win the Charizard matchup. Flying, neutral, same. But now you have advantage in the Ghost against Ghost Pokemon because now you're super effective. Grass is the same. You're going to lose on the ground end, but that's okay. You're in terms of versus Dragonite, but you're fine. But in ice, you're going to be resistant to ice or your quick move. Actually, yeah, resistant to ice. Normal Pokemon, you're resistant to. Poison, you're resistant to. Psychic, you're resistant to. Rock, now you're super effective and neutral against versus taking a lot of damage. And even Steel, you're resistant, but you're going to lose on the water end, but that's okay. So you can see that Scizor is way better than Dragonite for my team. So I actually went back to the first spreadsheet because remember I talked about how that fighting was kind of confusing. So on right here, I forgot to mention that you list all the ones you didn't fill out in resistant or damaged, and then they'll go under neutral here. And then we can see that rock the Scissor itself will take neutral damage from a rock Pokemon or a rock type move, but its fast move is super effective against rock, so that will flip the matchup into a green. Let's see. And the Scissor will take neutral damage from a dark. And then dark is also over here. However, the super effective move, the bug, will be super effective against dark, so that will actually flip the matchup green. I don't know why I had it red for dark as well, because we don't see dark and ineffective anywhere, do we? No. And then so flying, Scissor takes neutral damage from, but let's see about flying over here. So its second charge move, the bug move, will be actually ineffective against flying. However, because the fast move and the first charge move is gonna be neutral against flying, we'll keep neutral against flying. No bill. So let's see. Let's see the third spreadsheet. We had rock. Yeah, we had rock, and we changed rock, and then what else was it? Rock and dark. Dark, we said neutral / super effective. There we go. And then fighting. Here's the one that was tricky. Fighting, we said Scissor takes neutral damage for, and then the quick move is actually inefficient or ineffective against fighting. And its second charge move is ineffective against fighting. But its third move is neutral. So technically we could say for fighting we could go / neutral. It really depends. So it looks like fighting, Charizard and Venusaur are resistant, so technically fighting we could say go or neutral. And then for ground, that was the other questionable one. So we see that the quick move for Scissor is ineffective against ground, and it takes neutral damage for ground. But we see that its charge moves are neutral against ground, so we can keep it as neutral for ground. Where's ground? Neutral.